Sloth.
And I'm Jorgen.
And this is Strange Narratives. Welcome back.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween.
You're getting an episode a day early?
Yes. And
just for the season.
a silly one.
Yeah.
Not a scary one. No trigger warnings. Silly costumes. I feel like the fingers should be a lot longer for a sloth costume. They have like fucking 8-inch claws, dude.
Yeah.
What do you...
Amazon, the hair.
Climb trees with this? The fuck. But, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm glad to be back in the studio. It's been a while.
Yeah, seriously.
Really excited. Thank you all to our listeners and subscribers.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
All the business is
All
out
the
of the
business
way.
is out of the way.
What are you talking about today?
I'm going to talk about the ancient history of Halloween.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's interesting. It's
Okay.
interesting. And I actually learned some interesting stuff too. So I'm really excited to get into this.
This will be fun then.
Yes. So,
All
around...
traits, no tricks today.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I actually learned a lot researching this, so I'm really excited.
Cool. I'm ready to learn.
Around 2,000 years ago, in areas that have now become what is known as Ireland and United Kingdom and, northern France, ancient Celts would celebrate Samhain at the end of summer and, kind of the beginning of winter. It kind of signified the beginning of winter solstice and stuff.
Okay.
This is when they believed that our physical and spiritual worlds were at their closest, with like the thinnest barrier between the two at the time. So this is when they truly believed that deceased ancestors could pass through, demons, like all kinds of supernatural things from the other side could pass through much more easily.
Okay. Makes
So
sense.
they would go on to burn hearth fires in homes all day long. They would never let the hearths go out. I even remember hearing something about, like, that's where the Yule log came from, and if you let the Yule log burn out, like, bad shit would come into your house.
Okay.
So, yeah, they would keep hearth fires left to burn out while the harvest was gathered. After the harvest work was complete, they would join with druid priests to light massive bonfires and make sacrifices, animal, sometimes human,
Right.
But you gotta keep the spirits appeased,
They'll leave you alone.
right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would light massive bonfires and dance and pray. The All Saints Day celebration was also called All Hallows or All Hallowmas. And the night before it, the traditional night of Samhain in the Celtic religion began to be called All Hallows Eve, or eventually Halloween. But that's kind of skipping over a lot to just, Halloween, we're done.
There you go. That's what it is now, okay?
It would take many centuries for the three holidays to kind of like merge together.
Okay.
Essentially, they all merged into Halloween, but there are still members of the Catholic Church that celebrate All Saints Day and All Hallows Day, All Hallows Eve. And there are Wiccan and Celtic Reconstructionists that still celebrate Samhain, which I have a friend that she wishes everybody a Merry Samhain every year or whatever. And
I love that.
I know, but that's where I first saw the word and I was mispronouncing it my entire life.
Hey,
so,
it happens.
and I guess I never explained that. Samhain is spelt Samhain. So if you've ever seen that before and you thought it was pronounced, Samhain or Samhain or whatever, no.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. It's Gaelic. It's hard. It's I love Gaelic, but that would be such a hard language to learn.
It's a very beautiful language.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I could listen to somebody talk that all day. In England and Ireland, during All Saints Day and All Souls Day, poor people would visit the houses of wealthier families and receive pastries called soul cakes.
Ooh.
Right? This is really weird to me. And it's kind of like greedy, cocky, rich people, but they would give the poor people soul cakes. So those poor people would then go home and pray for the rich person. You're rich. You don't need people praying for you. Like, that should be the other way around. The
like,
poor people
listen.
should give out cakes because that's like the only thing they can afford.
Yeah.
And you should pray for them to not be poor, but that
Here's
doesn't matter.
this Danish.
Yes.
Go home and wish me
And
well.
Wish me well. And you see this mansion behind me? Go home and wish for me to get a second mansion.
Yes.
Fucking.
And you get nothing.
But this was called. Oh nope, sorry, skipping. Oh, and I actually okay. Now I fucked up. It's not praying for praying for the rich person. It's praying for their dead relatives.
Oh. Like the poor people's dead relatives?
No,
or
the rich
their
people's dead relatives. So it's still kind of messed up. Here, I'll give you this cake. Pray for my dead grandma.
Love them from beyond, honey. I don't know.
But this became known as souling.
Okay.
The practice was later taken up by children who would go from door to door asking for gifts such as food, money, and ale. And we're complaining now about they're putting drugs in the candy. They're not, but we used to just hand out ale to children.
Right.
And this was the earliest form of trick or treating.
Interesting.
Right?
Wow.
And
okay.
so to think like that, we just go around asking for candy now and not even knowing why, like, does have a meaning.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is so funny is all of this is still steeped so much in religion, and I see so many religious people like, I'm not celebrating Satan's day. You guys made this. Whoops.
Listen, you adapted it.
Yeah, you stole it,
Yeah.
changed it, and then said, no, it's for Satan.
It's not, honey. It's not.
God,
It's just a fun day.
Right, I love it. It's one of my
It's
only
my
days.
favorite holiday.
I used to love Christmas the most, but I think I love the memory of my childhood Christmas more than I actually love Christmas. Because now Christmas nowadays, I'm more of a Scrooge. Like, I hate people. I hate especially working in a grocery store. It makes you fucking hate people, especially during the holiday times.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
When you think people are supposed to be the most charitable and the most giving and the most caring, no, they're the most entitled, they're the most
meanest.
Selfish, they're mean,
Yeah.
they're brutal. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, they're awful during the holidays,
Yeah.
for sure.
But,
Don't mess up.
so, when you think of Halloween decorations, what is the most memorable decoration that comes to mind?
Pumpkins. Hey.
This is such a cool fucking story, dude. I never knew this. So, the practice of carving faces into vegetables became associated with Halloween in Ireland and Scotland around the 1800s.
Okay.
Jack-o'-lanterns originated from an Irish myth about a man nicknamed Stingy Jack.
Ooh, I think I've heard this. Okay.
I never heard of this before. I fucking love this. Jack was known as a clever but unpleasant man.
Okay.
He was deceitful, miserly, and manipulative.
Wow, it sounds like a lot of
99% of men. Yes. That's what earned him the nickname Stingy.
Okay.
It is said he tricked the devil into not claiming his soul when he died. And, but however, due to this, when he does die, and he's such a piece of shit, he's rejected from heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So, the devil never comes to take him to hell. He's rejected from heaven, so he's forced to walk
purgatory.
the world for eternity in darkness, basically. Until I assume that the devil, either as a prank or he feels a little bit of pity for Jack, he gives him a burning coal. And Jack carves a turnip and puts the coal inside of it to make a makeshift lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where they started. That was the earliest form of the jack-o'-lantern.
Wow.
And then it continued that way where they would hollow out turnips, and there was another one. Where was it? Turnips and potatoes, and would place them in the windows or near doors to frighten away Stingy Jack and other wandering evil spirits. It wasn't until they moved to America that pumpkins were much more readily available, and they realized that they were hollowed out and made much better lanterns, and that's when we started using pumpkins.
Wow.
So literally, like, there's so
love
much
that.
about Halloween that I didn't know that's how that originated.
I love that.
And it's funny because, so many people think that Halloween nowadays is really dangerous. You gotta watch out for razor blades in your apples and those drug addicts giving away really expensive drugs for free.
Yeah, I'm like,
Nobody's doing that.
not a single human being.
Not a single human. No, and I will talk about the one time it ever fucking happened. And
Oh, I know that story.
yeah. But with the exception of Catholic-dominated Maryland and some other southern colonies, Halloween celebrations were extremely limited in early America.
Okay.
Because most of the country was Protestant at the time, and they didn't celebrate All Hallows Eve.
Right, that makes sense.
It wasn't until the mid-19th century that the new millions of Irish immigrants fleeing the potato famine came to America, and they would bring All Hallows Eve over and help kind of like normalize the celebrations over here.
That's awesome. Irish did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The millions of Irish fleeing the potato famine. These immigrants would celebrate as they did back in their homelands, especially by pulling pranks. In the late 1800s, common Halloween tricks included placing farmers' wagons and livestock on barn roofs. Which, how the fuck are you doing back? How are you doing that back then?
The sheep's like, bah!
What the fuck?
That's where we got boo from.
They would put farmers' wagons and livestock on barn roofs, uproot vegetables in backyard gardens, and tip over outhouses. You're a dick. Don't make me come clean up my shitty outhouse when I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Like,
Right? Love you for that.
Dicks.
Thank you so much.
By the early 20th century, so literally carrying into our time almost, vandalism, physical assaults, and sporadic acts of violence were not uncommon on Halloween.
Yeah, just like any other night.
Yeah. So around the 1930s, due to this increase in pranks and kids getting in fights and just, danger being on the rise, they started to mainstream haunted houses and like door-to-door like trick-or-treating and kind of like keeping the kids focused on one thing instead of just letting them go out and do whatever they wanted to.
Right.
Haunted or spooky public attractions already had some precedent in Europe. Starting in the 1800s, Marie Tussauds Wax Museum in London featured a chamber of horrors with decapitated figures from the French Revolution. Yeah, right? That's kind of gross.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's the weirdest wax museum you could make. Fucking
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
In 1915, a British amusement ride manufacturer created an early haunted house, complete with dim lights, shaking floors, and demonic screams.
Okay. Cool.
In the U.S., the Great Depression kickstarted the trend. By then, violence around Halloween, no doubt exacerbated by the dire economic conditions, had reached new heights. Parents concerned about their children running amok on All Hallows Eve organized haunted houses or trails to keep them focused. Mm-hmm. And I've been to haunted corn mazes before. Well, that's scary as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Because those motherfuckers, like, you go to run this way, they cut through the maze and cut you off. You go to run back, they cut through the maze and cut you off. Like, you cannot get away from them.
Girl, there was one time I went to a haunted corn maze. It was when I lived in Thornton.
Uh-huh.
And it was a dope corn maze. Anyway, we're getting chased through the maze by someone with a chainsaw, and that's what fucks me up.
I can't do that. I know there's no blade on
houses.
it, but you never know.
Yeah, it just, that, like, sound, I'm triggered. I'm other way.
Like, you literally, like, 9 times out of 10, you're like, oh, that's a fake chainsaw, that's a fake chainsaw. And then it's some psycho that goes to work at a fucking haunted house with a real chainsaw one night, and you're just like, it's fake. Ah!
Right. And so they chased us into this barn, and we're, like, walking through the barn, because he like stopped once we went there. That's obviously
You
not his
knew,
territory.
yep.
And I was like, okay.
There's something worse in here.
And so we're going through, and these like creepy dolls are like popping out, like people, you know? And I was like, oh fuck. And this chick was like, Taylor, watch your mouth. And I was like, oh hell no. And I fucking booked it.
How did they know your name? They must
It
have
was
knew
someone
you.
I like went to school
That's
with.
so fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, I know, okay.
That haunted corn maze we went to, like, I'm a big old pussy when it comes to fucking haunted houses.
Really?
I can't do
I
haunted
love
houses.
them.
I'm super claustrophobic. So, like, there was one time we went to a haunted house with my aunt. And I have a terrible phobia of clowns and hella claustrophobic.
you told
and I
us
hate
this
the haunted
story.
house where, oh yeah. So, but back to the corn maze one, we're walking around and we get to this part where, like, we haven't been bothered for a minute. We go around this corner and it's a long stretch where you have to go under this, like, covered wooden bridge.
Okay.
Like, you know, like, kind of like that one I was talking about in the
Emily's
haunted.
Bridge,
Yeah. Where you, like, you know something's fucking either on the other side of it or inside of it. And I'm like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. And as soon as we get forward, somebody literally swings down from the fucking rafters and just starts sprinting at us. And I was like, I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! And I'm just running the other way, like...
That's so scary.
Dude, I can't do it. I
need a raise because that's
fucking,
spooky.
yeah, it worked.
That would
Oh
get
my
me for
God.
sure. I'd be like, nope.
But around 1950s, Halloween costumes would begin to go mainstream. Costumes and disguises had figured into Halloween celebrations since the earliest days, but it wasn't until the mid 20th century that costumes started to look like what we know them as today. Jorgen. Around the same time, neighborhoods began organizing activities such as haunted houses to keep kids safe and occupied. Costumes became more important and less abstract and scary. They began to take the form of things children would have seen and enjoyed, like characters from popular radio shows, comics, and movies. In the 1950s, mass-produced box costumes became more affordable. So more kids began to use them to dress up as princesses, mummies, or even specific, like, characters like Batman and Superman and, you know, actual, like, big-name characters.
Right.
So it all kind of, like... I know you're going to be able to find some creepy pictures of early fucking Halloween costumes. Like the hollowed out corn sack or whatever. And you're just
like corn sacks and like burlap sacks and stuff. Yeah. And then like
creepy as
70s and 80s, those were spooky too.
those were starting to get spooky.
Yeah.
It
The
wasn't
eye
until
holes and stuff. It
wasn't until the 80s and 90s that they started to get really good. And even I was so scared of costumes and shit when I was a kid. Like, it wasn't until I was almost like 13 that I actually wore like my first mask for Halloween.
Really?
And it was a werewolf mask.
Oh, nice.
And I put it on. My mom makes me this outfit. It's all scratched up. It looks all dope. We walk out the door. This little like 5-year-old princess sees me and starts bawling. And I'm like, I want to go inside and change. And we went back in and changed because I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to go around and be scary because I hated when people scared me as a kid. And I instantly scared a little kid when I walked out. I was like, I don't want to do this.
You're so sweet.
My dad, I blame it on him. Well, I literally would be 2-3 years old in the shopping cart, like in the seat of the shopping cart. And he would go and get the scariest mask out of the Halloween aisle and then come around and like scare the shit out of me while I'm stuck in this seat so I can't even run away. And he did it to me constantly. And then he even got one and hung it on the end of my bed one fucking time. Because he thought I would get over it if there was just one in my room. And all it did was give me nightmares every fucking night.
Yeah, you're like, I'm throwing this away when you're not home.
Yeah, asshole.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Around the 1980s is when the fears about poisoned Halloween candy would begin to kind of surface and really reach their heights.
Okay.
And it was all based off of one specific event that it's the only one ever documented in the history of like American celebrated Halloween of somebody actually dying from poison candy. And the story is so fucked up. So, while in general, the fears about poisoned Halloween candy have been overblown. Crimes involving poison have occurred.
Okay.
The most infamous case took place on October 31st, 1974. A local Texas man named Ronald O'Brien gave cyanide-laced pixie sticks to 5 children, including his son. The other children never ate the candy, but his 8-year-old son Timothy did, and died soon after.
I remember hearing about this case.
Instantly, one, the dad was a dipshit because he took a fucking life insurance plan out on the kid like a week before he did this. There was like a local pharmacist or something was like, yeah, he literally came in like 2 weeks ago asking me about fucking cyanide. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck? And I think at the time you could just go into a pharmacy and buy it.
Yeah.
Because it was like rat poison or some shit at the time. So, and he put it in the pixie sticks and was hoping that they would like end up and kill his kid so he could cash in the life insurance policy. He wasn't intending for them to get passed out to other kids. So the fact that nobody else died, he just got lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I don't even think it was, I think it was, he was trying to kill more of his children, not just the one.
That's insane.
Yeah. So like, you guys want to say it's like, oh, my neighbors are trying to poison my kids. It was that dude's dad.
Yeah.
It was that dude's dad.
They're giving out edibles. No,
they're not. I'm eating them and locking my door and turning my light off because I don't want kids coming to my fucking house. I'm not giving them my weed.
It's expensive. In this economy, absolutely not.
I forgot about this one, but I don't think I ever really remember hearing about this. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember it being associated with Halloween.
Okay.
But I think people would continue to use it as like a fuel to fire. But
yeah.
In the early 1980s, a rash of Tylenol poisonings in which cyanide-laced acetaminophen was placed on store shelves. Mm-hmm. And that was where the safety seals and everything came from, because they had to recall like billions of bottles. I'm surprised that didn't put the company under, honestly.
They probably got bailed out.
Right. After the Tylenol murders, which are still unsolved, warnings about adulterated Halloween candy increased. But, yeah, I mean, that's all I could really find about the history of Halloween.
That was so much fun.
I loved, like, I was talking to her about it before we started recording. I've literally always pronounced it wrong my entire life, so to actually learn that it's pronounced Samhain is like, man, now I hopefully won't sound stupid when I talk to somebody that actually knows what they're saying, and I'm just like, but no, like I think it was
awesome.
I never heard about Stingy Jack. I love that is such a cool, now I want to carve a pumpkin.
Like, there's a little bit more to the story, but I can't remember verbatim, so I don't.
I remember seeing, there's
something about like a coin.
He tricks the devil into, or he asks the devil to come and share a drink with him with no intention of paying for it. They drink the bottle and they can't leave. Oh, it's the fucking devil. I feel like he would just be like, oh, deuces, douchebag. But Jack somehow convinces the devil to turn himself into a coin to pay for the drink, which Jack then pockets and just dips. But then right after that, I saw that he did the thing where he tricked the devil into just not claiming his soul. So if you fuck the devil over, how are you then going to convince him to not claim your soul?
Yeah. Well,
and then there was another part where like he told the devil to like not.
In a tree.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I'll have to find the video. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, because I literally read a whole bunch about it, but I didn't see that part. I saw a part where he tricked the devil into not bothering him for 10 years.
Yeah, this is like, before that.
See, that's where what I read was all jumbled around.
Yeah.
I didn't find like the actual like.
I'll see if I can find the TikTok for you.
That would be cool. Yeah, send that to me.
Because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do y'all say like the devil's like
smart,
like more cunning and evil and everything? And it's like, how did this one man convince the devil?
Well, we got a dude beating him with a fiddle. Yeah. We got a dude convincing him to be a coin. Like, you're 0 for 2 now, devil. You ain't that scary. You ain't that scary.
No wonder why he was like, heck this dude.
But then why give him a coal? like, if you were pissed at him because he tricked you, just let him wander in darkness for the rest of his life. Or eternity.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
to remind him that Hellfire's always with him or something.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Or, like, this is what you could... Oh, just to give him a little bit of warmth, but nothing to really, like, make a
You're
difference.
cold and lost, buddy.
Yeah, that's actually probably the most fucking fucked up way to give somebody a little bit of hope. Like, here's a little bit of warmth and a little bit of light, but not enough to actually make a fucking difference in anything. Have fun in eternity.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that
even
was
then, that
awesome.
stingy motherfucker outsmarts him by carving a turnip and making it into an actual lantern, which I think that is so, like, I would have never thought of carving a turnip, but I guess it is
Yeah.
like another hollow gourd, so why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. If you guys have any other, like, details or little, like, you know, add-ons that I might have missed or anything, please feel free to add them in the comments. This was just a quick little short Halloween themed episode that we wanted to get out, you know, a little bit early.
Yeah.
We'll be back to our normal schedule next Wednesday. Oh, and we won't be doing spooky stuff anymore. It'll be November.
I'm not ready. I feel like that went by so
This
fast.
month went by way too fucking fast.
I'm not ready.
Right?
I mean, it's always spooky season in my house.
Yeah, I was about
but
to say, it doesn't have to end.
yeah.
I don't
I
really
just-
care about
I
Thanksgiving.
love this
and
time of year. You know, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I absolutely love this, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you for having such an amazing
me.
costume.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like I just threw on a fucking onesie and came over. Well, it is
I love it.
a onesie,
But it's so you. Like,
'cause
if
I
I were thinking of any costume for you, it would be a sloth.
I hope we can wear costumes at work on Tuesday because I am fucking wearing this to work on Tuesday.
Yeah, you
And
have to.
I have to. Because, like,
And you'll be nice and cozy all day.
I was thinking about it. I was looking at just sloth costumes, and I was
Yeah.
like, but I'll wear that once and it'll sit in my closet. A sloth onesie, I'm going to be wearing this bitch as soon as I get home. I'm stripping off my work clothes, throwing on my sloth, and getting high.
Chilling.
And chilling. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.
That was so much fun. I had a really good time.
I'm glad. I'm glad we could get together and finally
Be able to
record an
do
episode
this.
again.
Yeah.
With that, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe.
Our socials.
Yes, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is a go.
YouTube.
Spotify and
and
YouTube, Utify.
Yeah.
SpotTube and Utify.
That one. That one too.
All under Strange Narratives. If you're still having a hard time finding us, you can probably still find us under the laundry room, but hopefully as we put out more videos under this new name, it'll kind of
fix the
fix the algorithm. But just be patient, hit that bell icon so you know when we post. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Timmy Turner.
Jimmy Turner.
That was really good.
Yeah, because I have a fucking gross voice.
No.
Okie dokie. Ready, Betty?
I'm ready.
Okay.
That was so cute. Stop it right now. My brother just got here, sorry. Let them out, please.
Can we leave this in as a blooper?
How long will it take to get 3 dogs outside?
Oh, that's right, because he brought his dog too, and so they have
Lala
to all
dog.